This episode of Internet Today is brought to you by Honey.
They're at it again, bastards. It seems like not even a few months can go by without politicians who have seemingly run out of options or things to place blame on for society's failures to focus their attention squarely on video games and we'll call them to be censored or banned, despite decades of research and no shortage of scientific proof resulting in the simple fact that video games do not cause real-life violence or crime on any type of large scale.
Yeah, so the most recent notable attempt at trying to ban video games happened back in 2019 when Walmart, in the wake of mass shootings at two of its stores, banned not just video games, but any and all imagery related to any video game that might contain violence. This, of course, meant they had to censor the covers of certain games and turn off in-store displays that showed demos for some games and remove any visual marketing material that referenced a game that included violence, which is it's a lot of AAA games, depending on what your purity threshold is related to, like what's considered violent.
Like is Assassin's Creed, it's like, yeah, that's really violent, but it's either in history or a complete fantasy world.
I mean, this Mario guy's a mass murderer.
Dude, he's stomping all over characters.
He's killed so many animals.
My kid just jumps on my head, is what the parents say. It's because of that damn Mario.
Donkey Kong, kidnapping women, holding them for ransom.
Stealing bananas.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if it happens in a fantasy world or a historical event or like, is it games that depict like actual modern reality? I don't know. For Walmart, it was a scorched earth campaign where they just didn't want anything to do with any game that would be considered violent. And this was, of course, in spite of the fact that Walmart still, at least at the time, sold actual guns and other weapons while the video game section went dark.
No, we don't understand why that's ironic.
My work here is done.
Yeah, we've done it.
Anyway,
we solved the problem.
We're having a sale on ammo over in that section.
Yeah. You know what? Put the video game controller down. Go outside and shoot a gun.
Yeah, you just need a less violent hobby, like target shooting.
Yes.
Or hunting. Or murder.
Now the sights are once again set specifically on Grand Theft Auto, a game that is almost a decade old, at least the most recent one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because for some reason, a politician in Chicago, Illinois named Marcus Evans Jr. is betting that he can curb crime like literal Grand Theft Auto by banning the video game Grand Theft Auto. Quote, Representative Marcus Evans Jr. wants to amend a 2012 law preventing some video games from being sold to minors. Friday, he filed HB 3531, which would amend that law to ban the sale to anyone of video games depicting psychological harm, including motor vehicle theft with a driver or passenger present. Quote, the bill would prohibit the sale of some of these games that promote the activities that we're suffering from in our communities.
Yeah, it's fucked up how, like, before the GTA franchise came along, Chicago was just this utopia of just extremely low crime rates. Nothing bad ever happened in Chicago until those bastards at Rockstar Games decided to flood our streets with their video games.
My favorite part about living in the, since the invention of the automobile until the 80s, was the fact that no video games, so no cars were stolen.
Nobody ever thought to steal a car instead of buying one until the late 90s when the first GTA games came out.
Which is, look, first of all, as far as I know, in GTA, if you've been playing this long, you have your own cars in the game that are worth way more than any car that you'd steal on the street in the game.
Yeah, but when you get started, you got to work your way up.
But you're doing jobs to steal. You're actually taking the cars back from people who haven't paid their leases.
That's true.
It's actually a pretty ethical game if you think about it.
Anyway, this Evans guy, everything he's saying is, of course, insane. But it actually gets even more ridiculous because the comparison made is just so simple and matter of fact that we can't help but just shake our heads and wonder how it took people so long to come up with this excuse, considering the Grand Theft Auto video game series has been around and extremely popular since the late 90s. You might not be old enough to remember, but it used to be a top-down 2D game.
You run people over and their blood trails would go behind the car.
It's come a long way. Early Walker, who runs an organization called Operation Safe Pump, which puts security guards in areas with a high number of carjackings, which is, at least a better idea than banning video games.
Yeah.
He's the one that contacted his local rep about the ban. Quote, Walker said he reached out to several state legislators to ban the video game after noticing similarities in local incidents of carjackings and actions players can make in the video game. Is it art imitating life or life imitating art? Who's to say?
I like how he just found out about this, too.
he said, quote, "I feel like this game has become a huge issue in this spectrum. When you compare the two, you see harsh similarities as it relates to these carjackings. It's a crime video game based on real crimes in real life.
I know.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, it makes complete sense, right? People see how easy and cool it is to steal cars in a video game. Obviously, they're going to immediately head out to the street and start stealing fucking cars. Like, if you drive a real shitty car, you could just have a nice car by stealing one. The game says that can happen.
Yeah.
And you only get 1 star.
This is just like how no one ever cooked meth until that show Breaking Bad invented the drug.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Bryan Cranston.
And look, even if people pulled some bullshit statistic out of their ass saying something to the effect of, well, I mean, all of these convicted carjackers all played video games.
Yeah, they probably watched movies and like listened to music too.
Yeah, it's just bullshit because everyone at this point plays video games. It's the same thing as saying criminals are doing any other extremely common activity and making it seem like it's linked is bullshit. But we've already been over this time and time again, even when video game violence was making national headlines during the Trump administration, but literally every other administration before that as well. But Trump was quoted as saying, "We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace." He tried to take those games.
Remember that video that the White House official YouTube channel put out? Like they made a montage, a sick gaming montage of like most brutal moments, top 10 most brutal moments in gaming 2017. And it was a good video.
Yeah. Anyways, numerous studies don't back those statements up.
Yeah, well, I feel it in my gut that
Look,
this is the case. So,
bottom line, once again, this is just video games being a scapegoat for problems that they refuse to try and solve.
Yeah, problems that have had solutions available for a long time, but it's easier to ban video games than to, I don't know, put more money into like the education and recreation in poor neighborhoods in this country.
Mm-hmm.
No, we should just take away one of the few like sources of joy for like the youth in this country that have nothing else to fucking do because like they don't have any parks. There's no social programs for them to get involved in. They're shutting down after school programs. No, they have nothing to fucking do except play video games. But let's just take that away.
Yeah.
So, read a book, I don't know. Or join a gang. But at least you won't have gaming.
Yes.
From a New York Times article, the last time this is all dredged up, researchers have extensively studied whether there's a causal link between video games and violent behavior, and while there isn't quite a consensus, there is broad agreement that no such link exists. According to a policy statement from the Media Psychology Division of the American Psychological Association, scant evidence has emerged that makes any causal or correlational connection between playing violent video games and actually committing violent activities. Chris Ferguson, a psychology professor at Stetson University, led the committee that developed the policy statement. In an interview Monday, he said that the evidence was clear that violent video games are not a risk factor for serious acts of aggression. Neither are violent movies nor other forms of media. Quote, "The data on bananas causing suicide is about as conclusive," said Dr. Ferguson. Quote, "Literally, the numbers work out about the same."
Yeah, and obviously violent crime versus like stealing a car, it's the same kind of thing. It's like no one is being inspired to go steal a car because they played Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not even like a...
Look, okay, maybe there's a couple people, but what I'm saying is it's not
I can say there probably are some correlational links because like if you go deep into like the Steam games available, the Steam bargain bin, there's some pretty sus stuff on there. But like even the people buying these like basically like spree shooter simulators were probably already fucked up before they like it's people aren't becoming antisocial because of these games. They're antisocial and they seek out those kinds of games.
I mean, we're just gonna need to get that study printed out and put on the wall so we can just point to it every time.
Don't make me tap the study.
I'm gonna tap it. Anyways, let's move on because we got some big Mike Lindell, MyPillow, CEO, voter fraud, allegation news. Yeah, we're not sure if Mike Lindell was finally able to catch up on some sleep since the release of his very boring, easily refutable documentary that premiered on OAN, you know, the one with the very extensive disclaimer on the front of it that absolved the network of guilt associated with
Mike Lindell is a lunatic. We do not know this man. He simply purchased on-air time during an advertising block to say whatever the hell he wants, but we almost guarantee that what he's about to say is false, and we completely distance ourselves from whatever the fuck he's about to say.
Warning! But yeah, that would obviously... they ran that because they didn't want to be involved in whatever happened next.
We will take Mike Lindell's money, but for the love of God, please don't associate us with any of this.
But we hope that he did get some sleep because he's going to be fighting an even bigger battle thanks to a lawsuit that was finally, predictably, officially filed against him from Dominion Voting Systems.
Oh, geez. So who could have possibly seen this coming? Couldn't be us. I mean, we just mentioned an impending lawsuit every single time this dude got up to something, anything, over and over again the last 3 months.
Yeah.
He literally challenged them to do it at one point. He said, we have 100% proof that China and these other countries did it. So I welcome Dominion to come after me because I guess the word would come out a lot sooner than waiting for the Supreme Court to open this thing up.
Yeah.
And after 3 months, tempting fate, sticking his hand close to the burner, Dominion finally filed an official lawsuit against the MyPillow CEO for $1.3 billion.
Billion with a B.
Let's read from the opening complaint.
After hitting the jackpot with Donald Trump's endorsement for MyPillow and after a $1 million bet on Fox News ads had paid out handsome returns, Michael Lindell exploited another chance to boost sales, marketing MyPillow to people who would tune in and attend rallies to hear Lindell tell the big lie that Dominion had stolen the 2020 election. As when MyPillow previously faced legal action for deceptive marketing campaigns, Lindell knew there was no real evidence supporting his claims. And he is well aware of the independent audits and paper ballot recounts conclusively disproving the big lie. But Lindell, a talented salesman and former professional card counter, sells the lie to this day because the lie sells pillows. MyPillow's defamatory marketing campaign with promo codes like Fight for Trump, 45, Proof, and QAnon has increased MyPillow sales by 30 to 40% and continues duping people into redirecting their election lie outrage into pillow purchases. Bipartisan election officials, judges, 59 election security experts, Attorney General Bill Barr, Trump appointee Chris Krebs, Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp, Georgia's Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, Colorado's former Republican Secretary of State Wayne Williams, and others have rebutted Lindell's false claims about Dominion.
It continues. Most importantly, though, paper ballots are the hard evidence conclusively disproving Lindell's claim. If the vote tallies in Dominion machines had been manipulated, the machine tallies would not match the number of votes on the paper ballots. In fact, they do match, as independent audits and hand recounts have repeatedly proven. The contrary evidence put forward by Lindell's allies, including Sidney Powell, L. Linwood, and others, was deliberately misrepresented, manufactured, cherry-picked, and sourced from con artists and conspiracy theorists who were judicially determined to be wholly unreliable. Lindell knows all of this because Dominion wrote to him multiple times, put him on formal written notice of the facts, and told him that Dominion employees were receiving death threats because of the lies. Instead of retracting his lies, Lindell, a multimillionaire with a nearly unlimited ability to broadcast his preferred messages on conservative media, whined that he was being censored and attacked and produced a docu-movie featuring shady characters and fake documents sourced from dark corners of the internet. Through discovery, Dominion will prove that there is no real evidence supporting the big lie. Dominion brings this action to vindicate the company's rights, to recover damages, to seek a narrowly tailored injunction, to stand up for itself and its employees, and to stop Lindell and MyPillow from further profiting at Dominion's expense.
I love how they dragged the pillow company straight into it. This dude is literally selling a bunch of pillows because he is the one standing up for Donald Trump.
You see a lot of people on social media in their bio, it says, views are my own, they don't reflect that of my company.
He is literally the pillow.
And most of the time, people, there's no real reason for them to be doing that. But the reason you would want to do something like that is if you were someone such as Mike Lindell, where you blur the line between yourself and your company so much to the point where Dominion Voting Systems feels they have a pretty strong chance of not only successfully suing you for defaming them, but also your fucking pillow company.
Yeah, because when you're buying a MyPillow, you're buying a little piece of Mike Lindell.
I just love I picture just boomers just piping hot mad constantly, just pissed off boomers just buying new pillows every week or so. They don't need any new pillows.
Oh, I bit through this one. I got to buy another one.
They've got just a whole room, just the pillow room.
Yeah.
Toss it in the pillow room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I buy more pillows, maybe Mike Lindell will visit me in my sleep. Grant me wishes.
And put a little cross on me?
Yeah, that's what happens in the commercial. You buy MyPillow and you become a Christian.
Yeah.
Anyways, the rest of the filing includes numerous embedded tweets, clips, and appearances made by Lindell regarding his statements about Dominion. It's literally 115 pages long, so there's a lot there.
I love how lawsuits these days, it's just basically this you?
Yeah. No, it looks like a PowerPoint presentation that you'd see at a company meeting with just images of Mike Lindell's tweets and appearances on Fox News and One American News. With the best part is the chyrons are like just saying exactly what he's saying in the image that's shared.
I'm so excited for this lawsuit. If it even makes it to trial.
Yeah.
Although Mike Lindell is crazy enough, he is a crazy enough white boy to maybe let this thing go all the way to the courtroom.
That's what I'm saying. Like most of the stuff that we've reported on about Mike Lindell that's used in this lawsuit, you already know because we've reported on it. If you want to take a look at the entire legal filing, we'll leave a link in the description below. But out of all of the characters involved in the whole Stop the Steal initiative with direct ties to the former president, Lindell was definitely the one who seemed to care the least about getting sued.
He seems to really believe that he is in the right here.
Yeah, everyone else, including Rudy Giuliani and multiple news outlets like Fox, they all shut the fuck up real quick.
Yes.
So we'll have to wait and see if $1 billion lawsuit is enough to finally smack some sense into the Pillow Man. But we're not holding our breath, and it might get real interesting.
I'm excited. Because, he could probably settle at some point for far less than the $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
But
they took my goddamn pillows away.
That's still entirely up to him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he sees this trial as just another platform for him to try to change the results of the 2020 election.
Yeah.
So
finally.
This is going to be sick.
I can't wait to tell all the whole jury.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be up there with his, like, fucking graphs and shit.
So
we're not here for this.
I hope he represents himself.
Maybe.
Anyway, if you're on the receiving end of $1 billion lawsuit, maybe it's time to save some money, Mike Lindell. And we've got good news for you because today's sponsor, Honey, will do just that. We all shop online, for pillows or otherwise. Mm-hmm. We've all seen that promo code field taunting us at checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one that it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites that have tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands to even food delivery.
Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button, it drops down and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. You wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons that it can find for that site, and if they find a working one, well, you'll watch the prices drop.
Yeah.
Just today, I used my Honey Gold, one of the gift cards that I earned from my Honey Gold to buy something. And another one I used, I don't think we're allowed to say the names of stores exactly anymore, but a big box home improvement store I used, and I got a 3% return on Honey Gold as well. I couldn't find a coupon code, but you get a return anyway. So
yeah, there's a very popular e-commerce auction website that there seems to be just honey codes galore on there that I have used recently to buy a baby shower gift for a friend of mine.
Well, Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and it installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and you'll be supporting this show. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/itdaily. That is joinhoney.com/itdaily.
All right. Back at it again with yet another stupid conspiracy theory that's circulating online right now. And while this is very dumb, it's at the very least far less detrimental to our democracy compared to Mike Lindell's stuff. But it's definitely leaning heavily on the climate change denial sector of our country by providing what they see as proof that the government is creating fake snow, to make it seem like climate change is more severe than it really is. So basically, as you'll all recall, Texas had a freak winter storm last week that caused massive power outages and people freezing sometimes to death in their homes. And over on TikTok, the brain trust known as TikTok, residents in Texas were using various tricks to show people that snow wasn't actually real. It was not all natural, pure, white American snow. It was definitely sent there by either the government or Bill Gates, maybe China. We don't know. Maybe Obama.
From Insider, many of the TikToks show someone burning a snowball with a match. When the flame hits the snow does not melt. The TikTokers claim this indicates the snow is abnormal. In reality, all snow reacts this way. Through a process called sublimation, the solid snow turns into a gas. Misinformation has run rampant since the storm hit Texas last week. Fake snow was a top-related search query for Texas snow on Wednesday, while another false claim alleging that Bill Gates played a role in this fake snow ranked high among Texas snow-related Google searches. In a video that was shared widely on Twitter but has since been removed from TikTok, a woman burns a snowball with a lighter. "Thank you, Bill Gates, for trying to fucking trick us that this is real snow," she says. "You'll see it's not melting, and it's going to burn."
So there's another video where there's a guy picking up some of that white stuff, whatever it is, and calling it government snow. because it falls right off his hands. The caption for that video is "Government snow. If it was Trump in office, it would spring."
I guess it means if it would be spring already.
No, it would spring.
Okay.
So yeah, typically we can sense sarcasm pretty well, and some of these may be sarcastic, but some definitely seem real. There's a few that have like multiple follow-ups and like, I don't know, if there's a joke there, I'm not seeing it.
Well, and the deleted one I don't think was a cause of like TikTok being like, this is a conspiracy. I think it was they got shamed by the comments.
You fucking idiot. Yeah, you can't just like these people, it's like, okay, so why doesn't any city that ever gets snowed in, why don't they just pour gasoline on the snow and light it on fire? You ever think of that? Why are you sending out a snow plow when you could just light the street on fire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, these videos, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views. There's going to be at least a few people who do get hooked on the conspiracy and start believing in this bullshit just because they saw what they viewed as proof on TikTok.
So it's not dangerous, but it is stupid to normal people.
Yeah, one of them, they put a snowball in the microwave for like 30 seconds and nothing really happened. And it's like, I mean, yeah, put a fucking ice cube in the microwave for 30 seconds. It doesn't, not a lot happens.
It's like when you have snowpack and it's like, but it's 70 degrees out now. Why is there still snow on the ground?
Yeah, no, like the way, it's sort of a tangent here, but I ended up watching some video on YouTube recently explaining like the history of the ice business, like the like ice cube industry. And when it started, like before refrigeration, they'd literally go down to frozen lakes and like saw off giant like sheets of the ice, and then they'd store it just in a fucking shed outside, just all the ice and snow packed together, and that shit would last like 6 months to a year. They'd ship it across the sea. They shipped fucking ice from Northern Europe to India because the British officers there wanted some ice cubes in their G&Ts. Yeah. And that's like, they were able to, you know, they lost like 20% of it in the journey, but like...
Yeah, you're gonna lose a little bit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of snow, here's a sort of fun one. The government let the internet pick the name of something again, and
oh god,
this time it could have been pretty fucking accurate, okay? The Minnesota Department of Transportation launched a campaign to find the perfect name for one of the state's snowplows, and out of the 23,000 submissions, the pool of potential names was whittled down to just 50 finalists, with one of the top submissions for an official state snowplow being Abolish Ice.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, here's the rub. Sadly, Abolish Ice was just, it was second place behind, you guessed it, Plowy McPlowface.
It's 2021. Stop that shit. It's not funny anymore.
They're not even allowing people to vote on Abolish Ice as a finalist because they don't want things to get political. Quote, "It was meant to be a fun and lighthearted contest, not a politically controversial thing," said Jake Loesch, MNDOT spokesman.
Boo, Jake Loesch.
There's obviously undertones to a phrase like that, so we decided it wasn't one we were going to put forward to the final list. So, I mean, look.
Coward.
Because of that, there's not going to be a snowplow called Abolish Ice, but there probably will be a snowplow called Plowy McPlowface, which sucks. And we as a society, since we live in one, we need to move past the McFace joke. Yeah. It was funny a little bit the first time.
Yeah, cut that shit out. Anyway, moving on. All cops are, that's right, bastards. But that doesn't mean watching a bunch of cops on rollerblades isn't exciting and fun, as proven by a video that's been circulating online featuring a fleet of police officers in Pakistan doing just that. From Reuters. Police in Pakistan's largest city, Karachi, are deploying an armed rollerblading unit to curb theft and harassment on its teeming streets. Gliding in a circle with their weapons pointed inwards and lifting and lowering the guns in unison, the 20-member unit clad in black undergoes rigorous training. This shit, it looks like a show from the 90s.
It looks like Reno 911.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Quote, "We felt we needed to come up with an innovative approach to control street crime," said Farouk Ali, chief of the unit, explaining that officers on rollerblades could more easily chase thieves on motorcycles through the city of 20 million. I have my doubts about that. What if, I mean...
You have to throw a stick in front of them and they're done.
It just seems like a great way to fall flat on your face, break some bones, and then while holding a fucking gun. Yeah.
Or hit a pebble.
Yeah, just...
Anything could go wrong.
When rollerblading was at its peak in the mid-90s and everyone was doing it, like, I ate shit. I was pretty good at it, but I still ate shit.
You rollerbladed?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go down to the beach, just fucking...
Rollerblading at the beach, were you?
Yeah.
Not in like a half pipe or a skate park?
No. No, I didn't do
So
any
just
of that.
recreational rollerblading.
Yeah, as a form of transportation.
All right, Elliot.
I rode bikes too, but yeah,
Okay.
rollerblades were real popular. I think it was because my elementary school, like one of their big thing that they did like at least once a month was they had like skate night at the local rink.
Yeah, we would have roller skates.
Yeah, but I
We
don't
had
know.
a skating rink.
This skating rink got really into the rollerblades.
But then you were like, you know what? This is cool. But you know, it'd be better on the beach where everyone can see me.
Yeah, it was. I was not the only one by far. Maybe it was a SoCal thing, but rollerblades were very popular.
Oh no, they were popular elsewhere. Anyways, yeah, they look dorky. These people here, just like Elliot did, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, at the time, it was a lot less dorky. You had to be there.
Sure. Yeah. Anyways, Daft Punk broke up.
Yeah, I was so excited for them to do literally anything for the last 7 years, but looks like not so much. The video they released is pretty cool, but apparently it's not even new footage.
No, it's from a movie that they put out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a bummer, sure. All of their albums are great. Random Access Memories is like, I view that as like one of the craziest like release experiences I've ever witnessed because of the hype online and everything. Great music. Unfortunately, was never able to see them live, but I've watched their Coachella performance online multiple times. Look, great band. I have to side with Dave Oshry on this one. The discourse online yesterday made it seem like Daft Punk fucking died.
I mean, yeah, nothing has really changed. It's
No.
just now I don't have
They weren't doing anything anyway.
Yeah.
They weren't. They produced like some Kanye songs.
Yeah, the last thing they did was work with The Weeknd, and they did
Yeah.
a performance at like the Grammys, I think, with him. But other than that, it's been real quiet. You know whose fault this is? Tidal. They were at that big ceremony signing the Declaration of Tidal Independence, and look at their career now. Doesn't
That's
exist.
what happened. Just like Beyonce.
Yeah.
Nobody's talked about Beyonce anymore.
Nope. Beyonce who?
Yeah, exactly. And then Kanye and Kim, divorce time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tidal's ruining marriages.
Ruining careers.
And it is funny. Spotify is now just copying Tidal's business model. Talk about it on Tech News Day. But you're going to be able to listen to crisp, CD quality, hi-fi music on Spotify pretty soon.
Okay. Well, anyways, rest in peace, Daft Punk. Hopefully it's two guys. They're not that old. They could reunite at any time. They weren't going to tour anyway. So if for some reason now they're like, oh, shit, we should play a show. All they have to do is play a show.
Yeah. And if you're into like French
go see
disco
Justice.
house, yeah, Justice is still around, killing it. So
Yeah.
there you go.
It's great. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Please check out our most recent episode of Weekly Weird News over here and some more episodes. Just watch everything we got. Watch it a whole bunch.
Yeah, watch it twice.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Watch it on the toilet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.